Imagine a life where your heart no longer trembles in anxious anticipation, where your mind is free from the endless chatter of what if and how will this happen. Picture yourself standing in the radiant light of freedom, where every desire is met with faith, and every step forward is guided by a power far greater than the limited self. This, my friends, is the power of letting go. It is the sacred act of releasing the tight grasp of your hopes and fears. When you stop clutching the outcome, you stop pushing against the flow of life and instead glide upon it like a leaf on a gentle stream. In this release, you do not lose, you gain a treasure piece. Faith, not force, becomes your ally. Trust in the invisible hand that orchestrates the symphony of your days. This trust is not passive, but a dynamic force, a magnetic energy that calls prosperity, health, and joy to your doorstep. When you step back and say, "I know this will unfold in perfect divine order," the universe answers with blessings too vast to count. But detachment is more than surrender. It is the alchemy of silence and stillness. In the quiet moments when the noise fades, your inner voice rises. There, in that sacred silence, lies your true power, the creative spark that turns dreams into reality. Do not underestimate the might found in calmness. It is the birthplace of miracles. And here's a golden key: release the how and embrace the what. Stop trying to control the intricate details of how your dreams will manifest. When you let go of the need to know every step, you open the door to infinite possibilities. The universe, in its boundless wisdom, will deliver blessings beyond your imagination. Finally, learn to live in the present moment, free from the burdens of the past and the anxieties of the future. Detachment is the art of being fully here, now. This presence ignites your creative power and allows you to move mountains with ease. So today, take the vow to detach not from your desires, but from your need to control. Step into faith, silence, and presence, and watch as your life transforms in the most magical and magnificent ways. You are the master of your fate. Let go, trust, and receive. The power to transform is already within you. There's a tremendous power in knowing when to hold on and when to let go. But an even greater power is found when we shift our approach from struggling to control every detail to surrendering with unwavering faith. Faith is the force that moves mountains when human effort falls short. It is the invisible hand, guiding us when our own vision is clouded, and it is the magnetic energy that draws the right people, the right opportunities, and the perfect circumstances into our lives often, when we least expect it. Too many of us exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes, gripping so tightly to how things should be that we block the flow of divine abundance. We plan, we worry, we push, believing that sheer willpower alone will bend reality to our desires. Yet, it is precisely in that desperate pushing that we meet resistance, frustration, and failure. The universe does not respond to force, it responds to faith. Faith is the quiet certainty that, regardless of what the world shows, the invisible forces are at work behind the scenes, weaving a tapestry far more beautiful and intricate than we can imagine. When you embrace faith over force, your entire energy changes. You stop fighting against the tide and begin to flow with it. You learn to trust that there is a greater intelligence, a divine rhythm, orchestrating every moment of your life. This trust is not blind. It is born from a deep knowing that life is fundamentally benevolent, that you are supported beyond measure, and that every no or delay is simply a redirection toward something even better. Faith aligns you with the natural order, and when you align with this order, resistance disappears and miracles unfold effortlessly. Imagine a mighty river. When you stand in the current, trying to swim upstream, you tire and flail, but when you float with the current, trusting its course, you are carried swiftly and safely to your destination. This is the essence of living. By faith, you do your part, your inspired action, but you release the illusion of control over how and when your dreams arrive. This shift alone can transform your experience from struggle to ease. Faith also cultivates peace of mind. In a world filled with uncertainty, faith is your anchor. It steadies your heart and clears the fog of anxiety. When you know that an unseen hand is guiding your path, fear loses its grip. You face challenges with courage, knowing they are temporary and part of a larger plan. Your faith becomes a shield, a fortress against doubt and despair. This kind of faith is not passive waiting. It is an active state of being, knowing that the universe is conspiring on your behalf, even when you cannot yet see the evidence. It fuels hope and resilience, powering you forward with joy rather than desperation. Faith invites you to dream boldly because it reassures you that those dreams are already taking shape in the invisible realm. So today, release the heavy burden of forcing your will upon the world. Place your trust in the unseen forces that govern your life with perfect wisdom. Know that faith is the key that unlocks the door to miracles. As you cultivate this faith, you will begin to notice doors opening where walls once stood, opportunities appearing where obstacles blocked your path, and blessings arriving in forms more magnificent than you dared to imagine. When you live by faith rather than force, you do not just survive, you thrive. Your life becomes a dance with the divine, where every step is guided by love, wisdom, and infinite power. This is the great secret of transformation: to trust deeply, to surrender fully, and to watch in awe as the invisible hand of life moves heaven and earth on your behalf. In the relentless rush of modern life, noise surrounds us from every direction: the chatter of the mind, the clamor of obligations, the unending demands that pull us outward and scatter our attention like leaves in the wind. Yet, hidden beneath this storm of distraction lies a treasure more precious than gold: the power of silence and stillness. This is no ordinary quiet, but a sacred alchemy that transforms chaos into clarity, weakness into strength, and confusion into profound wisdom. When you learn to step away from the external clamor and enter the realm of stillness, you tap into a wellspring of power that is infinite and unshakable. It is in this space, this sanctuary of calm, that your true self reveals itself, untouched by the turmoil of the outside world. It is here that the divine whispers its secrets, where inspiration floods your being, and where solutions to your greatest challenges appear with effortless clarity. Stillness is not the absence of action, but the presence of focused, conscious awareness. It is a deliberate pause, a sacred moment where you cease striving and instead listen. And when you listen deeply, you hear the voice of your intuition, quiet, confident guide that always knows the way forward. This inner voice is the spark of divine wisdom within you, waiting patiently for you to quiet the noise and tune in. Many make the mistake of believing that success demands constant hustle, unceasing activity, and relentless pushing. But true power, the kind that moves mountains and transforms lives, arises not from frantic effort but from this inner calm. It is the still point around which the whirlwind of life spins. In that stillness, the fog lifts, and you see clearly what your next step must be. There is an alchemical magic in silence. It dissolves fear, melts doubt, and frees you from the chains of worry. When your mind quiets, your heart opens, and your spirit expands. This is where healing begins, where clarity dawns, and where you reclaim the creative power that belongs to you by birthright. The silence is the fertile soil in which your dreams can take root and grow strong. Entering this state of stillness requires courage because it means stepping away from the familiar noise and facing yourself without distraction. But the reward is profound. In that sacred silence, you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a master of your destiny. You connect with the infinite intelligence that governs all things, the source from which all miracles flow. The alchemy of silence transforms not only your inner world but also your outer reality. It shifts your energy, changes your vibration, and aligns you with the flow of abundance and grace. When you operate from this place of calm power, you become a magnet for opportunity, joy, and success. You move through life with ease because you are no longer fighting the current but moving in harmony with it. So today, commit yourself to this practice of stillness. In the quiet moments, away from the noise and haste, listen, trust the whispers of your soul. Know that in that sacred silence lies the power to transform your life beyond measure. It is the alchemy of silence and stillness that will turn your dreams into reality and your struggles into triumphs. Embrace it, and watch as the world around you bends to your will in perfect harmony. One of the greatest obstacles to receiving the blessings life has in store for you is the compulsion to control the exact way your desires will manifest. We often get caught up in the details, obsessed with the how, the precise path, the timeline, the method by which our dreams must come true. This fixation is a powerful block, for it binds us tightly to a limited vision, closing the doors to the infinite possibilities the universe is ready to pour into our lives. To transform your life, you must learn the sacred art of releasing the how and boldly embracing the what. When you fixate on how your goals will come about, you limit the universe's ability to deliver its highest and best for you. Imagine holding a glass with a tiny opening and trying to pour an entire ocean into it through that narrow channel. The ocean's vast abundance cannot pass through that bottleneck. But when you open the glass wide, without restriction, the entire ocean can flow freely and fill it to overflowing. You're focused what the desire or goal is the open glass, and the release of how is the widening of the mouth to receive miracles beyond imagination. By surrendering the how, you declare to the universe, I trust you to bring this to me in the perfect way, at the perfect time, and in the perfect form. This trust is a declaration of faith and freedom. You no longer attempt to script your life like a play where every line is memorized and every action rehearsed. Instead, you become a co-creator with the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, collaborating on a masterpiece far grander than your limited mind could design. The moment you release the how, you invite creativity and divine intelligence to step in. The universe has a way of surprising us, providing answers and opportunities that are often better, more unexpected, and more aligned with our highest good than anything we could have planned ourselves. Doors open where walls once stood, connections appear seemingly out of nowhere, and solutions arrive from the most unlikely sources. This is the magic of letting go of control and trusting the unfolding. Clinging to the how often stems from fear. Fear that if you don't orchestrate every detail, things will fall apart. But this fear is an illusion born of the ego's desire for certainty. In reality, control is an illusion. Life is fluid, ever-changing, and infinitely creative. When you relax your grip, you align with the natural flow and experience of freedom that fills you with peace and power. You move from a state of anxiety to one of joyful expectancy. This joyful expectancy fuels your energy, making you a magnet for miracles. When you fixate on the what and release the how, your vibration shifts. You move from resistance into allowance, from scarcity into abundance, and from limitation into expansion. This shift is the key that opens the door to effortless manifestation. So embrace your desires fully, declare clearly what you want, and then step back with confidence. Let the universe choreograph the details, knowing it will deliver exactly what you need in the perfect way. Your job is to hold the vision, keep your faith strong, and remain open to the magnificent ways your dreams will come true. In this sacred dance of surrender and trust, you unlock the door to unlimited possibility and witness the miracles that await you. To truly transform your life, you must learn the art of living fully in the present moment, free from the heavy chains of past regrets and future anxieties. The past is a story already told, and the future remains a mystery yet to unfold. Yet, so often, we carry the weight of old mistakes, sorrows, and wounds, or we find ourselves trapped in worry and fear about what might come next. This dragging of past and future into the present moment clouds your vision, drains your energy, and shackles your true power. Freedom and transformation come when you release these burdens and immerse yourself wholly in the now. Living in the present is not merely a concept or a nice idea, it is a dynamic, powerful choice. It is an act of reclaiming your life from the distractions and illusions that steal your joy and peace. When you focus on what is happening right here, right now, you step into a realm of infinite potential. The present is where creation happens. It is the canvas on which every thought, word, and action paints the masterpiece of your life. When you carry regret from the past, you are living in a prison of what was. You replay mistakes, relive heartbreaks, and punish yourself with if only and what might have been. But this is a thief of vitality and a barrier to growth. The past cannot be changed, but your relationship to it can. You can choose to forgive, to learn, and to release the grip of old stories. In doing so, you lighten your soul and make room for new blessings to enter. The past then becomes a teacher, not a jailer. Similarly, anxiety about the future pulls your mind away from the only moment where life exists, the present. Worrying about what might happen creates fear that paralyzes your action and steals your peace. Yet, the future is not a fixed destination but a landscape shaped by your present thoughts and actions. By surrendering the need to control or predict what's ahead, you free yourself to act with clarity and confidence now, planting seeds for a future filled with promise and possibility. The power of presence lies in its ability to focus your creative energy, When you are fully present, your senses sharpen, your intuition strengthens, and your mind becomes clear. You notice opportunities that were once invisible, your relationships deepen, and your resilience grows. Presence transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences filled with gratitude, joy, and meaning. Moreover, living in the now allows you to harness the flow of life, responding to challenges and blessings with grace and wisdom. Instead of reacting out of fear or old patterns, you choose your responses consciously. This conscious choice is the heart of true freedom and transformation. This practice is not always easy. It requires discipline and mindfulness to gently bring your attention back when it wanders into the past or future. But the rewards are profound. As you cultivate presence, you find yourself more grounded, more peaceful, and more empowered to create the life you desire. So make the commitment to live in the present moment. Let go of the burdens of yesterday and the worries of tomorrow. Embrace the gift of know vibrant, alive, and filled with infinite possibilities. In this sacred presence, you discover the true power to transform your life beyond your wildest dreams.